Wild swimming has become really popular recently. Have you noticed? And I know that there are lots of benefits for it, but for me, I'm not quite so sure. So today I'm going to be speaking to business coach and creative director, Simon Jordan, who is also a great enthusiast of this new sport. But first of all, I'm going to ask Simon what it is that stresses him out on a day-to-day basis.
Trisha, hi, good to see you. Yes, I've not long been back from the beach, actually, literally just before this call, hence my dress code. So I do apologise.
You look very rosy-cheeked as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful today. To be honest, there's not a great deal that does stress me out, and I don't tend to focus on what stresses me out. I look for what makes me happy, what gives me more freedom, because I think what you focus on, you bring more into your life. Yeah, I mean, it's. I find it difficult to look at what stresses me out. I mean, it could be a number of things. You're trying to get things done. I don't like rushing. I always give myself good time in the morning. I hate sort of waking up and suddenly. I mean, I wake up naturally. I never use an alarm. I'm always up by 6. I was training this morning before I did my swim, which starts at 7:30 with my PT instructor. So I'm up at 6. I sip the green tea, I relax. And then someone once said they like to be romanced into the day before it screws them over. So I thought, that kind of, I like that. I hate rushing. There's no need for it. It's all about, just get up enough time.
Well, this is really interesting because to me, I often have, not often, but I sometimes have debates with people about being on time. And I have, for example, some clients who want to be really successful and are just always late for everything. And they kind of hurtle into the session unprepared. Whereas I like to be super early so that I'm just kind of chilled and ready and it all flows. And it's not because I'm, rigid. It's because I want to be nice and relaxed. So I will always leave lots of time. So I love that phrase. I'll call it romancing.
Romanced. You want to be romanced into the day before it screws you. But then again, I don't like that. Oh, I'm going to screw me over, because if you go about life with a sort of I'm going to be screwed over, or it's in business is a dog eat dog world. You know what? It will be just that, because that's what you're looking for. That's the energy you're putting out there.
Yeah.
What you think about, you bring about.
Yeah. So you're a great believer in the law of attraction, then?
Yes, I think they're missing out a lot of elements within that. If we're referring to the book, The Secrets, there's a lot of elements missing in that. And I've
like
just
the law of action, maybe.
No, it actually starts way back from that. It's about taking 100% responsibility for everything in your life. And I mean everything. It's about standing tall, pulling your big pants on and saying, okay, I take full responsibility, everything. Your health issues, the relationships you have in your life, your money worries, everything. And with the law of attraction and The Secret and stuff like that, it's all about, right, start thinking this way now, change your thought, fine, but you've got to go right back to basics, and you've got to do that, taking ownership of it, which a lot of people are scared to do, and they will bullshit. Oh, no, it's fine. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. No, everything. You are the director of your life. You are the consistent person in your life. Everything is your fault. So you need to change that. And it's about acknowledging. And I take in this book, it's called The Simplicity of Success. And it takes people through the 6 stages. And success is, it's actually the full title is Simplicity of Success, Life in Flow. This is the book that's coming out. Coming out in the next couple of months. And it's about, so as I said, it's the simplicity of success, life in flow. Because when you get into flow, everything all connects. Everything is, and that's where the success is. That's where you can then start the law of attraction. You can't do it if your life is in chaos. You're talking about your clients will turn up like that. I know so many people who fill their lives with chaos and they try and control it. See, just briefly, we have chaos, we have order. Those are the balance within the universe. Always has been, always will be. What we do, we step over order and create control. Control is a human construct. And we come from a place of, I've got to control it, got to control it. You're never in control. We think we are, we're never. The universe will knock you off on your backside before you know it. And it's about, one of the biggest questions in the book is, asking yourself, what is my life telling me about me right now?
I
So if
love
you're
that.
always late for stuff,
Yeah.
if there's things happening, if there's chaos, what's going on? What will happen if you're someone who's always controlling and yet there's chaos? It's the universe saying you need to just step out of that control because you're not in control. Come back into order, relax a bit more. And I go into all that, explains it more, but there's basically 6 stages. And then you can then start thinking about the law of attraction. And it's also about unattached intention, because people go, I want the fast car, I want the big house, I want the money, blah, blah. Yeah, but you're coming from a place of want. Want means you don't already have it. So you're actually coming from a place of lack. But you can't be in that place if you're already in chaos, you're trying to control the world, you're not taking ownership of everything you've done, you're not surrendering, which is a huge thing. If you're not underpinning your life with gratitude, all that secret and all the other stuff and the law of attraction, it's not going to help. Just you're not going to get there. Simple as that.
I love what you're saying, because what it is, it's like the foundation for the law of attraction to be effective, because without that, it's like having a house with just the windows in, or only the roof. You need all of the building blocks for it to be effective.
It's a difficult path, my simplicity of success, but it is actually very simple. But you have to go through and take complete ownership of everything that's happening. You know, it's going to sound crazy, but, you know, say you're driving down the road and someone cuts you up. You have attracted that. And people go, well, how can I have attracted it? I'm not in control of other people. Everything on a subatomic level is energy. You ask any physicist, everything is energy. So the computer you're looking at now, it just vibrates at different levels. We actually vibrate at 75 megahertz, the same as an avocado. Just a weird thing. And an avocado also, we all have it also takes 9 months to gestate. Anyway, so when we think of negative, so every thought is energy. You know, energy cannot be created or destroyed. This is the first rule of physics. So if our predominant thoughts are one of lack, one of fear, one of stress, one of control, then we're going to attract more of that. So if you're like, oh my God, and then things are coming into your world, that's what you are attracting. You know, you've heard all the people going, oh, why do I always attract the idiot guy or the person who always cheats on me? You're putting that out there. You are attracting that into your world. So that, again, the first stage is like acknowledging that. Okay, I acknowledge the chaos in my life, where I am. And then the second stage is completely taking ownership of it. It's acceptance and responsibility. And then when you start from there, then it goes on. I've talked about gratitude and surrender. And there's a bit where you stop. Before you get into flow, it's about stopping. How do you know when you're in flow? How do you know when everything is right? When you can take a step back. And we struggle with that because we have all our phones and stuff, and there's constant people. The first thing they look at when they wake up in the morning is their phone. It's the last thing at night as well. Constantly
I know, it's
away.
shocking, isn't it? And they wonder why they can't relax.
Yeah, you're fired. You're hit with over 3,000 marketing messages a day. That's just marketing messages. It's not the news feeds, the blogs, and all the other stuff as well. And our brains are not wired for this. And yet you know, the increase of depression in really young ages, young teenagers, and anxiety and stuff like that is going hugely. Suicides, as soon as from 2004, the chart for suicides has gone through the roof. When did Facebook start? 2004.
Strange.
I've got a client of mine who's a neuroscientist. He's a professor over in Sydney, Australia, and he writes about this stuff. He says, why is technology addictive? What it's doing to our brains. They even have this. They took these children away, these young teenagers, and they took them out into the desert as part of this experiment. And it took them away from their phones. There was no signal.
You've just said there's no signal, and you've frozen there.
Oh, sorry.
How weird is that? Just as you were saying no signal, you froze.
So yeah, they took these young teenagers, these young people out into the desert, and they didn't have their phones on them, and they were getting ghost vibrations. So they were on their legs like, oh, my phone's going. Yeah, but you haven't got your phone. And that was 2 weeks after they'd actually taken the phones away. It's still getting that. So our brains are wired like constantly. and we're not having time to switch off, and it's
Yeah.
not good for us.
Yeah.
So
So
it's about that part. It's about that stopping and seeing where you are.
speaking of switching off, tell me
Yeah.
about wild swimming. So I
So
don't get it
yes.
personally. To me, I want to be cozy and warm. I don't get it. So I love exercise and I don't mind the gym, but wild swimming just confuses the hell out of me. So tell me, what is it all about? Because it's so
So
popular.
I now live down in Dorset in West Bay, southwest UK. So I'm half a mile from the beach, and we've swum throughout the year. Even when it's been minus figures, which does sound crazy.
It does, yeah.
But I think that we live in a world which is all very cozy, warm, and it's all very easy. And there's a thing which the old Greek philosophers used to talk about called wintering, and you toughen your body, you build resilience, and it's easy to live in a nice safe environment, but there is no way you're not going to build resilience through that. So by putting your body through this, and it really helps your mental state as well, it spreads out through the rest of your life as well, and your business, your relationships, everything. It makes you stronger. I remember there was one time, it was on a Tuesday, I think it was in February. March is actually the coldest time of the year, and actually water retains heat really well. It's starting to pick up again. It's about 11 degrees now. Positively balmy, but I think the water temperature was about 6 or 7 degrees, and we went in, and actually the air temperature, we had a wind chill down to -6, and I remember coming out and thinking, holy crap, this really is cold. The water felt warmer. It was the water to the air temperature, and the beach was frozen. It was that cold, and that when I was thinking, oh, this is ridiculous. And it's funny, I was interviewed by a guy from Australia. And it was this. I was pretty much wearing the same gear as well. And I said, look, I need to go and get a coffee. And I remember trying to pour the coffee into the cup, and I was shaking so much it went everywhere. I was like, oh god. So, but and there was him sweating away because he's in Sydney in their summer, and I'm in the winter. And I was like, the whole table was shaking. But it's amazing what it does for you. It increases the endorphins. You burn adipose fat as well, which is the brown fat. It's fantastic for you. For women, it's great for cellulite, things like that. It gets the whole body going. And I actually, last year, we started noticing more and more people joining us for our morning swim. We were going down at sort of 6:30 in the morning. And I thought, this is fantastic. And a lot of older women, actually, and some in their 70s. And I thought, I need to capture this. So I created, he has to hand, this book called Wild Swimming Through Lockdown. It's actually sold out now. We're not going to do a second print run. But I wanted to capture all the people who were swimming. And it was just a picture from them. So you can see, for example, you've got the person's name. And it was just first name, age, and why do you swim? And to get people's understanding of why they swim, and a lot was to do with mental health. It was fabulous. And the age range, we had, the youngest was 35, the oldest was, I think, 75. And so much was about mental health.
So
you see them turn up.
Does it help with mental health? Because I do hear this a lot, but I'd love our viewers and listeners to really get it. So endorphins,
it's
resilience.
The endorphins, yeah. It's the resilience. There's a sense of community as well. It's that, you can go down, and there's times when I've really struggled. Last year, I've worked from home for 12 years now, but it was last year. It was like you couldn't go anywhere. We were lucky to be at the beach, but you would go down, you'd feel like just it's tough, and you get in there, and that. It feels like Mother Nature slapping you around the face, going, come on, wake up, have gratitude. This is a great life. Okay, I get it. And it was like, it's just fantastic. You get that buzz from it. You also get what's called the cold drop. So once you come out of the seat, get dressed and warm quickly. Have a hot drink. Don't have a hot shower straight away, because that can actually kill you. Because if your extremities get very cold, which they would do, because all your blood rushes to your main parts to keep you alive. So if you've got essentially cold blood, when your fingers and toes go white, that's when the blood's cold, And what you don't want is that cold blood rushing to the heart. So if you go and have a shower, suddenly the body starts pumping again, and that cold rushes to us. So you need to allow about 45 minutes before you have a shower, which I haven't done yet. So, but it's not that cold out there.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, but there you go. But yeah, it's just it's such a feel good factor. And then, I mean, on Christmas Day, that was the true spirit of Christmas. We just said, look, I've got this huge flask. So we're going to make some mulled wine. Let's just go down. We had a swim, and so many of our community were there, and we hadn't planned it. No one had planned it. We just all went there. We all had a swim Christmas Day, and most of us aren't in wetsuits. I don't swim with a wetsuit all year round. And we were exchanging mulled wine and Christmas cake and stuff like that, and it was just fantastic. You felt
that's
part
really
of something.
Community, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful.
So there's a lot in there, really. Then. But it's just kind of, so how can people pluck up the courage? I suppose they just have to pluck up the courage. I can't imagine ever doing it.
I would look at, if you're a lady listening to this or watching this, look up there's a group amusingly named the Blue Tit Swimmers. They're all over the UK. There we've got the Bridport Blue Tits. It is mostly women. They say all men are invited, but well, with a name like that, it's not really going to be applicable, is it? But no, in front of, there are more female wild swimmers. When I was down this morning, there was one guy and me, and the rest were women. There was probably 8 of us, I think. But yeah, I would say find somewhere where you know it's going to be safe. Go in for a few minutes before you go in the sea. When you start going in, put a bit of the water on the back of your neck, because there's a sensor there, and it will just help you go in. When you do go into the water, don't suddenly panic. Oh my God, just calm, breathe, focus on the breathing. Because what a lot of people tend to go, oh my God, you got this, want a reaction to panic. That's bad. Don't do that, because that's when you burn up a lot of energy, and it can actually be detrimental to you. But go with someone as well. Don't just go on your own. And I was swimming in the sea this morning on my own. I swam out to the cliffs. I'm used to it. I do it all year round. I know the sea. And what she's capable of. I also know when not to swim when it's too wild. So yeah, go with a buddy. Be prepared. Lay your clothes out as well in a way that it's going to be easy to put them on. You don't want to be thinking, oh, I need to put my leggings on first, but they're right at the bottom of the bag, and oh my God, you don't want to be thinking about that. And just take it easy. Go in for a few minutes, and then the next time go in for a few more minutes. I mean, they do say, some people say, go in for 1 minute for every degrees. I mean, I was in 15, 20 minutes this morning. It's about 11 degrees. Fine, I'm used to it. I don't get that cold water shock anymore, because it's called cold adaptation. Your body gets used to it. But the more you do it, the more it just becomes fantastic. You know, I know people who chip ice out and then go swimming. It's just absolutely incredible. It's bonkers. It's really, really taken off, and it's phenomenal. Yeah. And as you meet some wonderful people out there, it's Mother Nature strips the ego away. You can't have an ego in the sea. She'll knock you for 6 and knock it out of you. Yeah. And we have a seal, funny enough, called Sammy, who regularly joins us on the swims.
Oh, how lovely.
And he's brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get too close to him, because they can playfully nip, or a playful nip from one of those could be. But yeah, it's so I'd just say find somewhere where you can go, where you can get into the water easily, where you're not totally exposed. Like if it's a huge beach and there's a big drop off, because you can get an undertow as well. Or look for riptides. Riptides are reasonably easy to spot. If you do get caught in a riptide, don't panic. That's the biggest thing not to do. Don't panic, because if you try and swim against it, or try and swim back into shore, you'll be exhausted and you'll end up drowning, which is a horrible thing. Just relax, because what happens, it's a channel. You normally see it where the waves, you'll have waves coming in. There'll be one bit like a strip. There'll be very, very shallow waves, and it's normally like a current that's coming out. If you get caught in that, you get spat out pretty quickly, but it just comes out. It comes like in a loop. So just relax, lie on your back, and you'll come out and you'll feel, the current's gone now. Then you can swim along the side of the beach and then come in a different place. Don't try and swim into it.
Yeah,
we don't get rips down here.
So there's a lot about don't panic, which I call just relax, and that will really help you in finding a good safe venue and building up your not stamina, your what's the
your resistance to the water, really. But it is a good thing just to put some on the back of your neck. it stops up. Oh my God. You know, it's you will probably still get that. When it was really cold, I got it on my shoulder collarbones. I was like, oh God. For the first 6 minutes, I was like, oh, kind of like, oh, okay. Now it goes fine. But you get, I mean, when it was at the coldest, which is March is the coldest time of the year because all the heat's gone from the summer and everything. It's suddenly after about 10 minutes, it's like, wow, it was like pins and needles all over your body, but in a nice way. It's just, wow, you feel the blood rushing and it's the chemical reaction in the body. It's amazing. Absolutely. And you get that natural high as you come out. But again, within 10 minutes, you will drop and you start shaking. So get warm. Good thing is to maybe run up and down the beach if you can, gets the blood pumping.
Yeah. So lots of good benefits, lots of things about taking care. And do your research beforehand, especially about where you swim. Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sounds like a public safety broadcast, isn't it?
Yeah, I always like to think about safety. Safety and fun. Anyway, so I always ask my guests if there is a book that they found inspiring in their lives that others people might find inspiring and helpful too. And you've got one in mind, haven't you, Simon?
I have, yeah. And I was going to say here it is, but I've lent it to someone. And in fact, I always send it to my clients. They get a copy. I'll just go on Amazon order. It's called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. And it's absolutely phenomenal. Essentially, it's a guy who was in the 70s, he was just a hippie, just wanted to chill out. He was in California, just wanted to meditate and quieten his mind. That's all he wanted to do. That was his his goal, just to do that. And then the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it, started to give him things. And he was meeting people and they would say, hey, Michael, why don't you try and do this? And he was like, no, I don't want to do that because I just want to meditate. And then he started to notice that actually all these things are coming to him. And again, I was talking before about we're so distracted, we don't recognize these things coming into us. We just push it away or we don't listen. Anyway, people were coming to him and saying, why don't you try and do this? And he started to think, mate, these are messages. Maybe I need to actually surrender to this and go with it. And he was like asked to build a computer, and he went to Caddyshack, I think back then, built this computer. Long and short of it, he ended up running a multi-billion-dollar company because he surrendered. He's still this hippie, still meditates. He actually built this building in the woods where people can come along and meditate and things like that. So he's very connected and very switched on and awake, but he surrendered. And that is one of the things, it's so important to surrender. Look at your life, what's going on now, and just don't try and fight it. We're all going down the same river. But some people want to go, I want to be in that boat. I want to be swimming up that stream. I want to be that. I'm going to row like this. No, you're all going down that road. Everyone has their own path, but it's just about relaxing back into it, surrender. And when you really surrender, amazing things happen. Amazing thing. And that happened for me 5-6 years ago. I completely surrendered, and it was just like, wow. And everything. For example, talking about law of attraction or whatever, I'm at that stage now in flow. I just had one client finish with me. They come and work with me for a year. She was finishing, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I've got a space now for another client. That's fine. Maybe another one will come in. I got a call last week from a referral, and this woman has just emails popped up saying I've paid the first invoice. She's now coming on for another year. That space is now being filled. That is flow.
Yeah.
So it's being in that, and then thinking, oh, what would I like? I've got so many stories. The house we're in now was all out of flow. It's just phenomenal. We had 6 weeks to move. I was in North Wales up a mountain. My partner was living in Colston in Surrey. We were like, my God, we've got 6 weeks to move. It's like, oh, bloody hell, but just relax. We put out what we wanted, and all we literally made a list, and it just all happened. The first house she saw, it had everything. Perfect. So that's in flow. So surrender. It's a brilliant. But I would say to everyone, start there. The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. Fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. I'll take a look at that. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I've really enjoyed catching up with you. It's been a long time.
And you, my friend. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Nice to see you.
You're looking very well. You're looking well.
Thank you very much. Well, I don't
normally always wear a hat or a hoodie, so
I've never seen you in a hat or a hoodie. No, you look like you're ready for a bank job or something.
Well, that's the weird thing. You get out of a car and you go, well, I'm just going to go into the shop now, and you mask up. It's just, 2 years ago, like, what are you doing? Now it's like, yeah, it's acceptable to go with a mask.
I know. Let us
It's
hope
weird,
that that's
isn't it?
not for much longer. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, it's been great catching up with you.
My
I
pleasure,
hope
my
everybody
friend.
has enjoyed it as much as I have. If you have, do please like and share. You never know, it might land just at the right time for somebody. And if you've got any comments or ideas, do put those below as well. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Take care.
Thank you.